A beast or soft? LeBron James.
In my era, he probably would have done good because with his physical stature, with him being a little bit bigger than a majority of the rest. So he probably would have held his own, but I don't think he would have been as successful as he is now. Like now is, man, you know what I mean? Like he doing it, young boy doing it. You know what I mean? So, but it was a whole different era back then, bro.
So, beast or soft?
I just told you.
Beast then.
You know, I think he would have held his own. I can't necessarily say he would have been a beast, but I think he would have held his own.
Rather than seeking more favorable ones. As a former NBA champion and four-time All-Star, Wallace's perspective carries weight. He played against Michael Jordan during the final years of Jordan's dominance and also competed in the league during LeBron James' rise. This gives Wallace a rare first-hand view of two different eras and two very different approaches to leadership and legacy. Wallace acknowledged LeBron's accomplishments. LeBron is the NBA's all-time leading scorer, a four-time MVP, and a player who has maintained elite performance for over 2 decades. From a statistical standpoint, LeBron's resume is among the strongest in league history. Wallace did not dispute this. His criticism focused instead on decision-making and context. According to Wallace, Jordan's legacy was built through endurance and confrontation. Jordan entered a struggling Chicago Bulls organization and remained there through repeated playoff failures. When Detroit eliminated him year after year, Jordan did not leave to seek better teammates or a more favorable environment. He adjusted his game, improved physically, and eventually overcame the teams that blocked his path. Wallace described this process as central to how respect was earned in Jordan's era. Losses were absorbed, not escaped. Progress came through internal growth rather than external restructuring. Jordan's championships, in Wallace's view,
In my opinion, you know, Mike wasn't all that good of a defender.
Mike who?
Jordan,
Defensive Player of the Year.
all that was
10 times, I think it was 10 all defensive teams. That Michael Jordan.
all that's, you know what all that is.
What is it?
You know what all that is. Not all that's NBA shit. Yeah, we like Mike. We gonna put him up there. Da-da-da-da. I'm talking about being out there. I seen this motherfucker get his ass bust where he couldn't stop a motherfucker. Yes, Mike fouled too, but no, they not gonna call the shit because the refs want to eat his dick all day. Oh no, I'm not gonna call that on Mike. But down the other end, oh, you fouled Mike. Yeah, Mike. Hey, Mike, my guy, go to the line, shoot. No, I seen Mike get his ass ate up before. Oh, against J.R. Ryder. Problem against Clyde Drexler. Shit, don't forget the early Joe Dumars. You know what I'm saying? It's again, it's part of the game. Right? Nobody is perfect. We all got, you know what I'm saying, our nemesis with this game. But no, if you needed a bucket, yeah, and I'm not saying that he didn't play defense. I'm just saying that to me, his defense wasn't as high as most other cats at that time, or of course they put him on a lot of defensive teams because he might be playing weak side defense, but that's not really doing it. You playing the passing lane. All that take is a pump fake, you gonna bite, and I can hit your man back.
He don't bite though, he first team.
So they say.
I feel like, I mean, there's probably something definitely to his popularity helping there, but I do think
no shit.
He was fucking
of that latter philosophy, while Jordan embodies the former. Wallace stated that conversations like this have existed privately for years among former players. Many, he suggested, avoid voicing these opinions publicly due to backlash and accusations of disrespect. Wallace chose to speak openly, not to diminish LeBron's achievements, but to explain why some players do not place his legacy above Jordan's. Importantly, Wallace did not claim LeBron is inferior as a basketball player. He argued instead that legacy is not solely about outcomes, but about process. Championships earned through stability and struggle are viewed differently than championships achieved through deliberate restructuring of circumstances. LeBron's lack of public response to Wallace's comments has drawn attention. Normally quick to address criticism indirectly or through performance, LeBron has remained silent. This silence has fueled further discussion, particularly because Wallace's argument is not statistical and cannot be countered with records or accolades. At its core, this debate is not about determining a single correct greatest player. It is about differing definitions of greatness. One philosophy values enduring hardship within a fixed environment. The other prioritizes agency, adaptability, and control over one's career path. Neither approach is inherently wrong. The NBA evolved, and player empowerment became a defining feature of the modern era. LeBron helped reshape that landscape. However, Wallace argues that while empowerment changed the game, it also changed how respect is earned, especially among those who came before. This is why the Jordan versus LeBron debate persists. Jordan's legacy is straightforward: dominance within a single franchise achieved through sustained resistance and eventual conquest. LeBron's legacy is more complex: excellence maintained across multiple teams supported by strategic decisions and long-term planning. Rasheed Wallace's comments resonated because they articulated a sentiment many have felt but rarely expressed clearly. LeBron's greatness is undeniable.
Defending though.
Again,
Like at a high level
as
though.
I said, I'm not saying he didn't play defense, but I don't know if that defense was worthy enough. Maybe they were looking at his offense being defense, getting guys in foul trouble who's guarding him. And some people look at that as playing good defense because now you're out the game while I'm still in here.
He was getting like 3 steals and a block a game too. Like he was getting busy for a minute defensively, along with the 35.
What changed his game was offense. What changed the game for them was offense. It wasn't a joint like, shit. If that was the case, look at the matchup he had with Dominique Wilkins. Dominique going right back at his ass. He couldn't stop Dominique with shit. Now, I'm not saying Dominique was stopping him.
Right, I was gonna say, yeah, I feel like everybody just getting 30.
Yeah, but like, nah, I don't know, man. I don't think as far as I couldn't put him on like 10 or 11 consecutive first team all defensive joints.
The NBA did though.
I know. Well, we know what that was. Who put them votes up there? It's all the media. Mike's loved in the media. We know that. Number one.
What if it's both though? What if he's also loved and a great defender?
Then it would have showed. Then he would have definitely some DePoys.
He got one.
He would have some.
I feel like they was given to mostly. It was a different era then.
Yeah.
He got one as a guard. Does that say something that he was good enough to get one as a guard when they were giving it to
Biggs? Because we playing defense. We the ones that's getting blocked. He could go score 50. His man could score whatever, and if he get 1 or 2 steals, all great defensive game.
Jordan's titles are often framed as the culmination of endurance, patience, and confrontation with repeated failure. LeBron James's career unfolded in a different environment. By the late 2000s, player movement had become more accepted, and stars increasingly recognized their leverage within the league. LeBron was among the first to fully embrace this reality, using free agency not just as a contractual mechanism, but as a strategic tool. From a purely rational standpoint, LeBron's decisions make sense. He identified limitations in Cleveland's roster construction, organizational decision-making, and championship viability. Rather than waiting indefinitely for improvement, he chose to reposition himself within a more competitive structure. Wallace does not dispute the logic behind these decisions. His argument is that logic and respect do not always align. Respect, as he defines it, is earned through persistence in unfavorable conditions, not through optimization of circumstances. This perspective helps explain why Wallace emphasizes earning respect rather than being granted it through accolades. In his view, respect accumulates through sacrifice, discomfort, and vulnerability. When a player has no alternative but to endure, the eventual success carries greater symbolic weight. LeBron James's critics argue that his ability to choose his environment reduced the symbolic value of his achievements. While his championships required elite performance, they were achieved within carefully constructed situations designed to maximize his chances of winning. This does not invalidate the titles, but it changes how they are emotionally interpreted by those who value struggle as a defining component of legacy.
But how when you giving up just as many points as you getting?
I ain't giving up 50 though. He might give up 20, but if I'm coming out plus 30,
Bird lit that ass up.
Bird lit a lot of people's ass up.
Dominique lit that ass up.
He did that to a lot of people.
To me, from when I was growing up, I think those were his two biggest competitors who would go back and forth with. Was Dominique and Larry Bird, but mainly Dominique because that was athleticism versus athleticism.
Right.
Damn.
I feel like that's like Dominique, for as great a player as he was, he didn't make any all-defensive teams. You know what I mean? He didn't have that type of rep because he was an offensive.
Wasn't a defender. He wasn't on a winning team. He wasn't the motherfucking league poster boy.
I feel like you only get there by being. You had to be, like you said, Magic before all-time great, Larry before all-time great. You got to get to the great part before they even make you.
Dog, they were banking on Mike when Mike was getting his ass beat every night when he first got drafted in Chicago. They were banking on Mike then.
Because they knew he was special.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he's not. I never said he wasn't special.
You hate Michael Jordan.
No, I don't. I don't hate Mike. Not at all. I know Mike's a fucking great player. But in my book, Mike ain't the GOAT. And that's just in my book. And I could be a little biased because I'm a big man. I'm 7 feet and I'm going with Kareem.
But he went to Carolina. That's where I thought the bias was. I thought we would agree.
That's why, I can't. Just because he went to the brotherhood, that was a good thing. We was all brothers, blood brothers, true blood brothers,
all
real
right.
blood brothers.
Enough of that shit.
But, nah, bro. I mean, and again, y'all, I don't want y'all sitting up here saying she was this, she was that. Look, y'all, this is just
differently. His career emphasizes adaptability, longevity, and systemic awareness. He assessed competitive landscapes and positioned himself accordingly. That approach reflects intelligence and foresight, but does not align with older ideals of confrontation-based greatness. Neither model is inherently superior, but they generate different emotional responses. Jordan's story feels linear and inevitable. LeBron's story feels modular and strategic. For some fans, the former feels more authentic. This distinction explains why statistical comparisons rarely resolve the debate. Numbers can quantify performance, but not narrative meaning. Wallace's critique exists outside measurable categories. It addresses how greatness is felt rather than calculated. LeBron's silence in response to Wallace's comments further underscores the complexity of the issue. Any response grounded in statistics would miss the point. Wallace did not attack LeBron's production. Responding defensively could amplify the criticism rather than neutralize it. Silence in this case may be the most pragmatic choice, even if it allows the critique to linger. Engaging would require addressing philosophical differences that cannot be resolved through argument alone. As LeBron's career approaches his final chapters, debates like this will likely intensify rather than fade. Retirement often crystallizes narratives rather than softening them. Once active performance is no longer available as a counter-argument, legacy discussions become more abstract and value-driven. Wallace's comments may ultimately serve as a reference point rather than a verdict. They articulate one school of thought, not a universal conclusion. The NBA has evolved, and so have definitions of success. Legacy debates reflect that evolution. What Wallace forces the conversation to confront is the idea that greatness is multidimensional. It includes skill, achievement, influence, and also perception. Perception is shaped by context, values, and personal experience. For players like Wallace, Jordan represents an era where greatness was inseparable from endurance. For others,
LeBron represents progress towards autonomy and sustainability. Both interpretations are valid within their respective frameworks. The persistence of the Jordan versus LeBron debate suggests that basketball greatness cannot be reduced to a single metric or narrative. It is shaped by era, expectation, and philosophy. Wallace's critique does not diminish LeBron's career, but